Well, here we are again. Morecambe and Sheffield Wednesday. My question is, when's it going to stop? Let's, unfortunately, get into it. So, if you don't know, the eulogies have been written, maybe prematurely, for Morecambe Football Club, but people seem to think that they're gone today. Not technically true, as time of recording, they have not technically declared bankruptcy or insolvency. That has not happened yet. But they haven't paid their players for a very long time now. Jason Whittingham, who is the owner, should have sold it, had multiple offers on the table, and it looks like it's not going to happen because he's a selfish prick that won't actually do what needs to be done. And then we bring in the Sheffield Wednesday into this, one of the most historic football clubs in England. And to call them a sleeping giant, I don't think they'll ever wake up again. If they're a sleeping giant, this absolute moron of an owner who has overvalued it has given them 4 transfer embargoes, of which they're currently serving 1, lost their head coach, and it looks like Sheffield Wednesday favourites for relegation if they even manage to see out a season. So you got 2 football clubs that are about to go to the wall. And it reminds me of a video that we did on this channel. If you've been following this channel for a long time, then you will have seen, hopefully, the video that we did on, football club finance and the call for a basic football financial union, a credit union for football clubs. That was one part of it. And then we called for what an independent football regulator actually needs, which is the power of compulsory purchase of football clubs. What we got in the current piece of government legislation is a toothless facade of regulation. The toothless facade of regulation. And what we've got is nothing. It's not going to help anyone. All it is government bureaucracy at its finest. What is this new regulator doing for Morecambe Football Club? What is this new regulator doing for Sheffield Wednesday? Nothing. It's doing nothing. So, Morecambe fans, you might as well write your eulogies just like the Bury fans had to. And the Macclesfield fans. And insert name of football club that's gone under. Because this toothless government regulator has done sweet, ironically, FA about these situations. What needs to be done is terrible owners being stripped of their football clubs, being stripped of ownership by this regulator. And don't ask me to pronounce the Sheffield Wednesday owner's name. I can't do that. I'm going to try it. I know the surname is Shanziri. That's as close as I'm going to get, but I couldn't pronounce the first name. But Shanziri is a terrible owner who needs to be stripped of their ownership of Sheffield Wednesday Football Club. In the same way that Jason Whittingham needs to be stripped of the ownership of Morecambe. An independent football regulator should do that because it should have the power of compulsory purchase. It will not do that because it is a servant of the powers that be and is clearly, from the early onset of it, first of all, they've got a Labour Party donor in charge. Brilliant. That doesn't make it look like it's a corrupt institution already. And then they don't do what's right by the supporters of these two particular football clubs. Now, if you're sat there laughing at Sheffield Wednesday and Morecambe because you're a rival fan, you're an idiot. You shouldn't be laughing because it might be you next. As a Swindon Town fan, I wasn't laughing at the whole Reading situation. I was hoping they got back on their feet, and thankfully they have. Although not a great first performance of the season, they're still around. However, it just perplexes me that we keep letting this happen. And it doesn't look like anyone in the footballing, in any power of authority, wants to do anything to stop it. Anyway, this is an incoherent rant. Sheffield Wednesday still up against Leicester in their opening fixture. Once again, haven't paid their players. Transfer embargo. Head coach left. Morecambe have been suspended from the National League, if you didn't know. And some people are going on social media writing their eulogies. As I say, Morecambe aren't dead technically, yes, as a limited company. But people are writing their eulogies. Perhaps, well, most definitely prematurely. But who knows, by the time of dawn tomorrow, things may have changed. Maybe for the better, hopefully for the better. Or maybe for the worst. And it just shows the people in charge, the people in power, don't know what the they're doing. And that's where this rant ends. Go watch our video on Football Financial Union, the proposed financial union that we put out. We're just a tree falling in a forest with no one around. So does it really fall because you can't hear it? There are there's two videos we'll link below. The Football Financial Union and what we need to see from this regulator, which has already failed, in my opinion. Do all that YouTubey nonsense and I will catch you soon. Bye-bye.